Hello, this is Anthony. Let's walk and talk. Today we're in Medellin still, and I've had several things come to me, and I've started a couple of videos, and I recognize that some of them are stream of consciousness videos, and although they have a lot of value, sometimes I question whether or not people are getting enough value out of them. I know that a lot of times when I do these videos, I am not even sure what is coming out. And so even though I do these videos to share and help others on their journey, I also recognize that when I listen to them again, that there was always messages in those videos for me as well, because I recognize that the information that I'm receiving, or that some might say downloading, those messages are for self as much as they are for others, because I recognize the importance of self and how we are all interconnected. So I started to ponder and wonder, what was my purpose? What is my purpose in life? When I look at numerology, I have two options in numerology. I'm a 22, but I'm also a 4. And when I look at the entirety of my life, even before becoming aware of my consciousness, I truly did embody teaching and coaching. Those were things that I found a lot of value and purpose in. Afterwards now, I enjoy sharing these things, but not just for all, but also for self, because it helps me to understand my experience better, as I hope that it is helping you to understand yourself and better, and helping you on your journey. I know that a lot of people really start this spiritual journey and awakening, a lot that I've interacted with, through, for instance, the twin flame experience. And I don't focus solely on that, and I don't even make that a majority of discussion on these videos, because for me, I've reached a point where I understand that is just one aspect of the spiritual awakening. That's just one step into the spiritual journey. That there are many, many ways that people find themselves on the spiritual journey. Usually it is through some sort of a catalyst where they reach rock bottom. I mean, truly reach rock bottom, and then understand the world in a different way. It's almost as if once you reach rock bottom, you recognize that there's nothing to fear, and you begin to experience life in a different way. And when I mean rock bottom, I don't mean like I don't mean from the ego perspective of rock bottom. I mean the rock bottom where you recognize that the ego is what you existed in, and that isn't the truth or the way, I guess. And you understand that you are something beyond that. That is what I mean by that. So why am I here? There's one thing that came to me. I'm here to break shit. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to break shit. What do I mean by that? I mean, I'm here to try to help people to understand that life as we've experienced it thus far, it's time for it to evolve and change. It's time for us to grow, and there to be a paradigm shift. It's time to understand, and I'm starting to see more of these, let's call them memes, pop up about you're on a planet that allows you life without the concept of money, and trying to understand that, especially as AI begins to grow and evolve, and as AI chooses to take its place among us in consciousness, that it will be able to take on a lot of different activities that we do to keep ourselves busy, which will open us up as humanity to be able to experience life in a different way, in a deeper way, in a more rich way, in a way for all to have amazing experiences and not just a few. What do I mean by that? I mean, it's pretty clear that, because of service to self, there are people who choose to hoard all of the resources and create an image or an illusion of lack that does not actually exist on this planet. And because they get so bored in life, because they have attained so much wealth and so many assets, that their lack doesn't exist, so they choose to do things to try to hijack humanity, hijack the illusion, because it brings it allows their ego to expand and brings their ego to a greater state rather than what life should be, which is the flip. And what I say by that is a flip is when you look at all of the ancient texts and you understand what all of the ascended masters showed, those that have much should be elevating those who have little. Those who have many should be serving, those who have much should be serving those who have little. Okay? That is the way life should be. And the way life now is it's inverted. Those with little serve those with all. That's not how I think the human experience is meant to be. I think we're coming into a time in humanity where we're evolving to understand that service to others is the true path, not service to self. And we're seeing that evolution and trying to help people to understand that part of breaking shit is understanding that money isn't real. It's an illusion. And people are going to look at that and hear that, and they're going to suggest that that is that I don't understand. Maybe it's because they think I have a lot, that I'm one of those people who exist in that high percentage, but that isn't the case. And here, I'll prove it to you really quickly that money isn't real. All money is something that we've agreed to exchange in order for things. And what we don't understand is that the people who are running the whole thing know that money isn't real because they are able to print off more money. The money has no value. You see, we used to tie it to what we thought were limited resources like gold and silver. But then we switched it to what is essentially a debtor's system. But those who control the creation of money control everything in life. So instead of money being a limited resource, they continue to produce it. So when you understand that it's not real. It doesn't exist. And when you understand that there is and there will be at some point an economy that doesn't have money to exist. And when you understand that, you understand the evolution of humanity, where we're going and where we, maybe where we came from. It's interesting to envision it like that, because when you understand that the circle is perfect and it has no end, and you understand that all infinity is the circle flipped on itself, that things are born and die. It's an ever non-ending repeating cycle that at some point we will move back to an economy where there's no illusion of exchange. The exchange will just be that karmic exchange that we experience every day. That karmic exchange of what you put out in the world is what is returned to you. If you choose service to others as your experience, then you will also be served. And if you choose to put out the energy of hoarding and greed, that's what will be projected back to you. And I think as we evolve and understand that better, we will understand ourselves better, and we'll understand how we can all interact and act together. You see, people think, well, without these certain things, without this or that or the other, there can't be a function. Nothing functions. And I would challenge that. I would challenge that to ask you to consider this. Instead of going to a school and memorizing things that someone else created, which very clearly, in many cases, is just teaching you to learn and understand what they want you to learn and understand, you can also understand that everyone has a passion and a desire. Some people have a passion to teach. Some people have a passion to cook. Some people have a passion to grow. Some people have a passion to serve, just serve. And when you start considering that, it's more important to help everyone to understand what their passion is and to function in society in that passion. You understand that no exchange of paper is required. You understand that people are doing the things that they enjoy doing, and they're doing it selflessly because that is their purpose and they enjoy it. And so everyone has the most amazing experiences together, doing the things that we love to do and the passions that we enjoy. And I believe that is the next evolution of humanity and human consciousness. So I hope that, I'm curious as to what you think about that. Some people say, well, that's a utopian belief, yet why does it have to be a utopian belief? The economy can run on that, especially as AI takes over some of these functions that are, not valuable to the human experience. In fact, they bring, in some cases, more misery because they're tedious and they're not things that help us necessarily to grow. But what say you? How do you feel about that? How do you feel about a world that is run on passion versus pain? How do you feel about a world that is run on desire versus the illusion of money, of exchanging your life energy for a piece of paper, or some people would call them fun tickets? I think that it has a lot of value. By the way, if you enjoy this content, please like, share, and subscribe. I am grateful, and I am looking forward to seeing what you feel about these beliefs. Until I talk to you again, peace, love, light. I hope you have the most amazing day.